Welcome to another episode of Budget Conscious Construction. Your host Victor here, helping you get things done in 2025. And every year I'm blessed to be here helping my fellow man and woman get some things done. All right, we're going to talk about a laundry room that I have in my personal home. It's kind of a project where I was adding up my budget as I was building the house and then trying to cut down on overage. And it was one of those items where, do I really have to have quartz or granite in my laundry room, considering it's just there to fold clothes? So I'm going to show you what I end up using, and the video I'm going to do today is just basically showing you my process of a year later. I had only put 2 coats of poly on it. I went back and sanded it down and re-cleared it just to add some more protection. But we'll get right to it. Let me know what you think. So I start today with some 320 grit, and I probably would stay 320 and above. This is about the roughest you want to put on this poly. It's very durable poly, but I still wouldn't try to get the scratches too far down. So 500 would be what I would consider perfect. If you have some really bad scratches from like throwing rollerblades and stuff up on it, then yeah, 320 is where you're going to be at. Just vacuum up most of the dust, and then I take a wet rag, as you'll see here in a second. It's just a damp rag, and I go and wipe the surface off. I'm not leaving a bunch of water or anything crazy on it. Even though it is water-based, you still don't want a wet surface when you're applying this stuff. And my method of putting things down heavy here, it works great. But what I will say is this: if you have a problem where it starts to bubble up, some people call it solvent pop. You know, I've seen it using other products, not necessarily this product. It's from contamination, or either you have it too wet. The last thing I'm familiar with would be, possibly instead of stirring the can, you shook it, and that's what'll cause that. But if it's too wet, you gotta remember to just use that method that I talk about when I did the wall. Is I'll almost roll it after I've done rolled it. I'll roll it with the roller just kind of almost dry on the top. And that kind of helps a lot of the bubble situations that DIYers find when they're trying to do this and they haven't done it all the time. As you can see, my hands are very gently on that roller. That's kind of how I get rid of that. And I'll do that sometimes across the whole thing and just let it roll dry and pick up the excess poly. And that keeps me out of trouble. All right, so here's the finished product. What did it cost and what are you looking at? All right, what you're looking at is basically a walnut plywood. It's a piece of plywood that's veneered with walnut that you can buy at any of your big box stores most of the time. If you go to a specialty company, even then, they'll have different grains cut, but it's all just veneered plywood. Then I use a 4/4 piece of walnut on the front of it, just ripped down to whatever size face I wanted on the front of it. That cost me slightly under $200, which put me, for 19 square foot, put me at $10.50 a square foot, somewhere around there, right there in the neighborhood. Now, why did I go this route and what was I going to get? What I was looking at was $42 a square foot for quartz, right around there, so it had been about $800. So $800, I ended up spending slightly under $200. I'm really happy with my choice, and I think that for a laundry room that's not going to be seen every single day by somebody, and it's a workroom, it's where you fold your laundry and you want to keep a smooth counter. Most of all, I wanted something in there that I could resurface if need be. That's what you've seen in this video. It gets ugly, I can resurface it, don't cost me hardly anything, and I can go on about my business. So, hope you guys liked it. We got plenty of stuff coming this year, as I always say. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get the channel going, growing, and my email's there. You got questions, send it to me or post in the comment section. Be more than willing to help. Thank you, guys.
This budget's so tight, the goats are saving cheese, mama.